What's going on, everybody? It's Royalty Crypto here, and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to take a look at one of the most popular meme coins, and actually the second most valuable in the space, that being Shiba Inu. I also wanted to take a look at the overall crypto market as a whole, basically letting you guys know where I expect these coins to go in the next couple of weeks to months. And I also wanted to go over some important upcoming dates that I believe will affect the prices of crypto dramatically. Also, guys, this is a brand new channel, and I would greatly appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. But without further ado, let's take a look at the crypto market. So as you guys can see here, Bitcoin is trying its absolute best to stay above 94,000, which was the local bottom from just a few days ago. And if you watched my video from yesterday, I actually did talk about what I expect for the price of Bitcoin over the coming days. And I did say that it is likely that we will drop down to around 90 to 91,000. Well, if you think about it, guys, the bull market trend line from the past 3 years would suggest that we could hit $90,000 and remain bullish. Also, we have a CME gap at $92,000, and it's very likely that we will fill that at some point, and it seems more likely than not that that point will be coming within the next couple of days. Also, the price of Ethereum is doing its absolute best to stay above $3,000, but ultimately the price of Ethereum depends on what Bitcoin does, so I'm more focused on Bitcoin right now over anything. But alright guys, if you scroll down to the 24th most valuable coin in the space, that is Shiba Inu, you can see that we are currently trading at 5088, which is equivalent to a $5.2 billion market cap. We are down 10% in the past 7 days and 2% in the past 24 hours, but basically every single meme coin has been struggling so much over the past couple of days. In my opinion, that is because whenever we see this much fear in the crypto market, it hits the meme coins the hardest. However, it does seem like meme coins are trying to bottom out right now, as well as Bitcoin and basically every other coin, so we could be coming to an end of this pain. And in my opinion, whenever we do have this much fear in the market, it is a great time to be accumulating altcoins, and I will talk about that in just a little bit. But let's go ahead and take a look at the Shiba Inu chart here. So as you guys can see, we did top out in basically November of 2021 at a $40 billion market cap. So if you were to be investing right now at a $5 billion market cap and we do get back to our all-time highs at some point, that would be an 8x on your money. Now, will we get back to our all-time highs for SHIB? I am not 100% convinced that we will, and in my opinion, that's because SHIB has so much more competition in the meme space than it used to. Back in 2021, the only other relevant meme was Doge, and at the time people were thinking that SHIB was going to catch up to Doge in terms of market cap, so it had basically all of the hype and attention around it in the entire meme space. Now, I don't think that will be the case this cycle, as we have about 10 memes that are very popular and, in my opinion, stealing a bit of the shine from SHIB. And although I do think that this limits SHIB's overall potential just a bit, I do think that this coin still could do incredibly well, because as you can see, we did get back to a $20 billion market cap twice in the last couple of years. So whenever we do finally start this altcoin run, which I do believe will be sometime in Q1 of 2026, depending on how parabolic everything goes, I could easily see us pushing back up to a $20 billion market cap once again, or potentially up to around a $30 billion market cap. So if you are investing right now, you could potentially 6x your money if you're buying at these levels. Another concern that I do have with SHIB is the 24-hour volume on this coin is relatively low for a top 10 meme coin. As you can see, in the past 24 hours, we have $120 million in trading volume. Now, that's not that terrible, but for a coin that has a $5.2 billion market cap in the meme space, you would really hope to have that at least around 500 million, even on the bad days. One very bullish thing about this coin, however, is we do nearly have 3 million unique holders, and I believe that in tough times like now, that is the reason why the price holds up as well as it does. Because as you can see, during the last bear market, we got to around this same price, around a $5 billion market cap, and we were able to hold that all the way up until 2024, basically just trading in a very narrow channel the entire time. So in my opinion, guys, I don't think SHIB will go much lower than this. I could potentially see it going down to around a $4 billion market cap if things get really bad, but I really just do not anticipate that, and I will explain that more later on in this video. Alright guys, let's go ahead and talk about the overall crypto market. So as you can see here, the CMC Crypto Fear and Greed Index is currently sitting at an 18 out of 100. So we are well into extreme fear. And it seems like more fear is entering the market as of this morning, so I wouldn't be surprised if this is all the way down to a 15 when it updates later tonight. Historically, whenever we're this far into fear, we end up having a sharp recovery to the upside within the next couple of months. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see that yet again. As you guys can see, the last time we had extreme fear was in March of 2025, and we ended up having a pretty rough month where we basically basically traded sideways down here at these very low prices, and then we had a sharp recovery to the upside. And in my opinion, last time we had extreme fear, it was much more valid because of the fact that the tariff situation was just being introduced to the market. People didn't know whether or not it was going to cause inflation to go crazy, and of course that is a major concern because all of the bulls want the rates to be lowered and liquidity to be injected into the market. Now, if inflation would have gone crazy back then, that would have put a halt to cutting rates and injecting liquidity into the market, which would have been a very negative thing and potentially started a recession depending on how bad it was. In my opinion, the reason why we're seeing so much fear right now is all built on speculation. People are speculating the fact that the 4-year halving cycle will come true yet again for Bitcoin, which theoretically says that we should be going into a bear market right now. We also have speculation on the fact that we won't be cutting rates in December, which is much more of a short-term concern, and I will talk about that in just a bit. But guys, I don't believe that we are going to go into a 4-year halving cycle bear market, and I genuinely do believe that this time is different. Now, I know that that is a very dangerous saying. However, not only is this market much different than it was in 2021 with genuine institutional interests like BlackRock and Fidelity, but we also have a much more bullish macro outlook. Back in 2021, what started the bear market was when Jerome Powell announced that he was going to start raising rates at a rapid pace, and that's exactly what he did. Now, this time, we are actually looking to lower rates in the near future and start to inject liquidity into the market. Now, that's an incredibly bullish thing for risk on assets, and I do believe that that will fuel this bull run to continue into 2026. But all right, guys, let's talk about some upcoming data that will affect the potential rate cut in December. So as you guys can see, we are finally going to start receiving more quantitative data. As you can see, we have jobs data coming out on November 20th. We have GDP and inflation mix November 26th, payrolls December 5th, CPI and PPI December 10th through 11th. Now, this is the biggest concern in my opinion because the FOMC meeting is scheduled for December 10th. So I don't know if they will be willing to cut rates without seeing the CPI and PPI data because they haven't seen it for multiple months. Because unfortunately, when the government was shut down, they didn't collect any of this data and we have no idea what it actually was, or at least that's what they're telling us. So this could end up creating a bit of a bear case in the next couple of weeks. Now, it's not a long-term concern in my opinion. It's more of just short-term noise. And I could actually see this being a sell the rumor buy the news event where we, sell off up until the FOMC meeting and then say December 10th we do end up getting that pause from the Fed. I could see, people starting to buy back in because when you zoom out just a bit, although the December meeting is slightly more likely that we will have a pause than a cut, but in January it is much more likely that we will have at least one, if not two rate cuts before and during that meeting. So don't let the short-term noise shake you out, guys. I think that we have so many bullish things around the corner. Also, guys, when you go ahead and take a look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, you can see just how many shorts we have compared to longs at the moment. This is on the 30-day, of course. So you can see that we currently have $10 billion of short leverage trades open in the past 30 days on Bitcoin alone and under $100 million in longs. Whenever you see the liquidation charts be this unbalanced, typically the market will move in the side that is more overly leveraged. This is because the exchanges and market makers have an incentive to liquidate these people and manipulate the price. So, in my opinion, maybe it won't be now, maybe we'll have to wait until the end of the FOMC meeting, but at some point we will liquidate all of these shorts and trade back up to at least 118,000, if not breaking all-time highs. So, in my opinion, guys, it is time to be staying bullish and not bearish, and if you have any concerns about the price of Bitcoin in the short term, I would go ahead and watch my video from yesterday because I did a very deep dive on why I believe we will continue this bull run into Q1 of next year, and I believe that information could help you feel much better about this market and this current price dip. But alright guys, that's going to do it for this video today. I hope you guys have a fantastic Sunday, and I will be seeing you on Monday. Peace.